we were having some big conversations about opposites. This was a while back ago, but we wanted to share some of those thoughts, and it came about from, I'm going to share my screen. So with the concept of the arch is that we are, as facilitators, asking ourselves these questions. That's the whole approach. It's just that we're asking ourselves these questions as we're facilitating. And one of these questions here was, what are my SOS opposites? And there's something in the online course about that as well. And I remember thinking and wondering about, well, how valuable is that really? Is that going to be meaningful and productive enough that it's actually one of these, not very many questions to ask under SOS that it would get included as a question? And so I genuinely wasn't really sure. And so we kind of had some interesting experiences, and then we just love to hear everybody's thoughts about this concept of opposites as we kind of share some of the things that have been coming up for us and thoughts around that. So, and I'll share this story first that brought this to the surface too, is when we were out in Michigan doing the filming, and we were filming with one of the clients, Matt, and Lynn and I were facilitating. And this was the client in session 1 that stayed in the same location the entire session. Like, he did not go into the arena. He was staying on this side of the fence. And so we talked about it afterwards, because we were, at different times, Lynn and I we did some different invitations that might invite some movement from staying in this one spot, like literally staying in the one spot for the whole time. And so, and nothing was nothing came about. So I was looking at the SOS, or sense of self. And for me, I said, yeah, part of his story was we were on this side of the arena, stayed there. The other side of the arena through the process ended up becoming the other side of the arch. It became what he hopes to become, the type of area. So I remember feeling, yeah, we kind of were making these invitations to see if he might take even any steps forward toward that space. I mean, it started off in the session that he didn't even know what the other side of the arch was. And now he could actually see the other side of the arch. So that was pretty powerful in and of itself. But in my SOS, I realized I was wanting him to get there. I mean, there's that part of me, I'm like rooting for this guy. I don't want him to suffer. I was really hoping like he could just take some steps towards that other side of the arch. I wanted him to get to the ideal. So I was thinking about that and thinking, well, what's the opposite of that? And so the first thought of, well, not wanting him to go to the ideal. And what we're talking about is that we want to push ourselves further than just saying not. That the opposite is not just the not. Like, can we take it a little deeper and think more about it? And so as I thought about it, I was like, well, I want him to go to the ideal. So the opposite of that would be that I accept where he is. And it just like clicked. It hit me so hard because his whole thing was acceptance and belonging. And here I was, just by the very nature of wanting him to get to the ideal, I was doing things, feeling things, even, thinking things that were actually doing the opposite of what he was looking for, which was acceptance. So I just was thought that was kind of a neat process to go through in myself, because it totally changed my mindset and my perspective and how I was looking at being in that location.